Singapore is one of the world's most impressive cities, with massive skyscrapers, grand temples, hyper-efficient subways, and one of the world's most chaotic food scenes. There's tons to know before you go. In this travel guide, we're covering it all and walking through everything you need to know when planning a trip to Singapore.
Singapore's public transportation system is one of the best in the world and is the most efficient way to get around the city. At its heart is the MRT, which is a fast, clean, and affordable subway system, and navigating it is really easy. Google Maps makes finding the right route super simple, and most signs inside are offered in English. To pay, simply tap your credit card or smartphone with Apple Pay on one of the scanners at the gate, and you'll be auto-charged the correct amount when you tap the same card to exit. Once on board, the trains are smooth, quiet, and extremely efficient. Just remember, it's illegal to eat or drink on the MRT, or in most of the stations, so be sure to follow the rules and you'll be fine. And whatever you do, do not bring a durian with you. Goodness knows how much this would cost. If you're instead looking to catch a cab, Uber and Lyft do not operate in Singapore. Instead, you can download the Grab app, which you can use to schedule a ride or deliver in food. We took a Grab to the airport after our stay in Singapore, and the price was actually pretty reasonable, so that's an option to consider as well.
Choosing what part of the city to stay in will greatly shape your Singapore experience. As a general rule of thumb, you'll want to stay within walking distance of an MRT station, as those are the best arteries to get around the city. One of the most popular districts to stay in Singapore is Chinatown. This cultural area is famous for its well-maintained, colorful row houses and vibrant market area. And given it's just a short MRT ride to many of the city's top attractions, it's the perfect base of operations if you're hoping to see it all without spending it all. That's because Chinatown is one of Singapore's most affordable districts to stay in. Not to mention, Chinatown is also home to some of Singapore's top hawker centers and most iconic temples, several of which you might recognize from our top things to do in Singapore video, so be sure to check that out if you haven't yet. This area is another iconic district that is also well known for budget-friendly stays, while also being a short ride to Singapore's top sites. It's also a short walk from one of the city's most iconic architectural features, the Sultan Mosque and Kampong Glam. So this is another great area to stay. If you're looking for a more luxurious stay, consider the Orchard Row area, which is known for its luxury shopping and posh hotels. You can also stay in the iconic Marina Bay Sands Hotel, which is probably the most recognizable skyscraper in the whole city. Staying here is the only way you can swim at its legendary rooftop infinity pool, which I'm sure is a great way to get some of the best pics in the city. Or if you're peasants like us, you can stay at the cheapest hotel in Chinatown and save all that money for Photoshop lessons. Shh, nobody has to know.
All right, so here is our room in Singapore. Actually a lot bigger than expected. I think we got the medium size room here. But this is our nice little view of the courtyard. Pretty big bed. Don't mind our stuff everywhere. We're getting packed up. And this is the bathroom. Definitely gets water on the floor, but that is no problem at all. Yeah, pretty spacious for Singapore, I'd say. Ooh, that sounded like it hurt.
And now we'd like to thank Tortuga for sponsoring today's video. Tortuga makes some of the best travel backpacks out there, and every time we pick them up, we're excited about the quality. We almost always travel carry-on only, and Tortuga's bags are designed just for that, which is awesome because you can skip baggage claim, avoid those fees, and just get where you're going faster. I've used their Travel Backpack Pro 40 liters, and I just love how comfortable it is. The shoulder straps are thick and soft, and the hip belt takes most of the weight off your shoulders, which is a lifesaver when you're running through an airport or walking through a new city. Overall, I feel like Tortuga is just built for the road. They're made with water-resistant and high-quality materials and come with a worldwide warranty, so it's so awesome knowing wherever you are, Tortuga's got your back. I think they've struck the perfect balance of the right number of organizational built-ins and overall efficient design. My personal favorite feature is the main volume. It's perfectly spacious for clothes and has the right amount of storage for staying organized on the road, so you can fit tons in there. If you're looking for an awesome travel backpack, definitely consider Tortuga. I'll have a link in the description where you can get 10% off your first purchase. Thanks again to Tortuga. Now let's get back to the video.
No trip to Singapore is complete without visiting some of the city's world-famous hawker centers. These food halls are some of the only places in the world you can score budget-friendly Michelin star meals, and there are so many great options to choose from. We have a complete food tour covering the top foods to try in Singapore, where we walk through the island's most iconic dishes and hawker centers. So be sure to subscribe and check out that video as well. Anyways, when visiting these hawker centers, it's important to follow local Singaporean etiquette and a process called chopping. What chopping essentially is reserving a table by putting down some item that you're carrying on you. And typically in Singapore, that seems to be a little thing of tissues like this. So essentially, if I wanted to reserve a seat at a table, I would just leave the tissues at the seat, go order my food, and then come back to retrieve my item. It's kind of funny because Singapore is so safe. We've actually heard of people choking with laptops and wallets. So I definitely wouldn't recommend that, but it is nice to know that it's a generally safe environment and your belongings will be there when you get back.
Singapore is a nation of rules, and while chopping may be the nation's most popular unofficial rule, there are several more important legal laws you need to follow when visiting the country. For starters, chewing gum is outlawed in all of Singapore, and it's illegal to actually even bring it into the country. If caught, you'll be slapped with over a $500 fine, so throw out that hubba bubba before your visit. It's also a $10,000 fine if you're caught feeding the pigeons, and other acts like spitting, vandalism, drug possession, and theft also carry severe punishments. In fact, in addition to fines and jail time, the physical punishment of caning is still practiced in Singapore and looks absolutely brutal, so be sure to follow the rules when you're in Singapore.
When it comes to scheduling your days, consider that some of the top attractions are time dependent. Kampong Glam's iconic Sultan Mosque is only open to the public at certain times a day, so be sure you can time your visit to when it's open. Similarly, if you're looking to catch the city's two most iconic free light shows, you can do both in the same night if you plan well. If you catch the 8 o'clock Spectre Water Light Show, you can cut through the Marina Bay Sands Mall and pop out in the Super Tree Grove for the 8:45 Garden Rhapsody Light Show, which is a great way to see two of the top sights in a given night.
Credit cards are widely accepted in most shops in Singapore, but if you're planning on dining out at hawker centers, cash is still king, and you'll need some paper or coins to buy your meals. The official currency of Singapore is a Singaporean dollar, which you can take out from most ATMs around the city. When it comes to tipping, you're not expected to add a tip to your restaurant bill. However, a 10% service fee is becoming more and more common at restaurants, so don't be surprised if you see this auto added to your bill.
If you're visiting Singapore, you may be happy to learn that both English and Chinese are widely spoken here. If you speak either of these languages, chances are you'll be able to communicate with the locals easily. Some common phrases in Chinese are ni hao for hello and xi xi for thank you. I'll spare you my butchered pronunciation for more complex Chinese words, but rest easy knowing that if you speak English, you'll have an easy time.
Singapore is hot and humid year-round, so trust us when we say you can leave your parkas at home. Temperatures hover around 80 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, which may not seem bad on the surface, but when you pair that with Singapore's typical 80% plus humidity days, the heat can feel relentless. So be sure to pack plenty of summer clothes. Singapore is also famous for its fast rainstorms that can roll in and out at a moment's notice. And with Singapore averaging 167 days of rain each year, chances are you'll experience at least some rain every other day of your trip. Luckily, most storms start in the early afternoon and only last about 20 minutes. So don't panic if your forecast looks rainy, as you still should have plenty of dry time outside. Statistically, November through January are the wettest months, and the summer is the driest and least humid, so keep this in mind when deciding when to visit. We spent 6 nights in Singapore and tracked all our expenses. In total, we spent a little more than $1,000 for the both of us, and that included our hotel, eating out every meal, and all our tickets and entertainment. So despite claiming the title as the most expensive city in the world, you can still have an amazing trip without breaking the bank.
So that's it for our Singapore travel guide. If you have any other helpful tips, be sure to let future travelers know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. We have some great videos coming soon from other parts of Asia and all over the world. So be sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Woohoo!
Awesome.